Hello and welcome to another episode of Fly or Die. I'm John Biggs.
I'm Jordan Crook.
And today we have
the BlackBerry Z10. Woo!
So what do we got? What is this?
This is, just like I said a minute ago, this is the BlackBerry Z10.
Or don't we run?
I want you to remember the name. Can you
BlackBerry Z10. Z1 Aught, I believe they call it in Britain.
This has a 1280 by 768 display, which ends up being 355 ppi, which is a little bit better than the iPhone. It's got a solid display, it's got a nice build, it's got a good processor, it's got an 8 megapixel camera, which is, according to the reviews and to personal usage, it's not the best quality photo in the world, but it does have some cool features,
it's
like
fairly,
that time-lapse stuff.
It's fairly thin. I mean, even with this case on, it's just about the same size. It's got your removable back here with this like rubbery stuff.
Pull it off here.
I wrote that this is too little too late and that rim is about to die. What's your opinion?
Well, I think that...
Or BlackBerry, that's what they're calling
BlackBerry,
themselves
yeah,
now.
they're not RIM anymore. I think that with the time that BlackBerry had, BB10 was delayed, but you have to think about what it takes to build an operating system from the ground up, and also to provide apps. And as far as they can do, they did what they could do, potentially, which is a feat in and of itself. Is it enough to pull away iPhone and Android users? That is the main question, and BB10 is actually really interesting. I mean, it's got a bit of lag. It's got its flaws, just like every other operating system. But it's also got some new features that are really interesting. So if you pull to the side a little bit, you'll actually see a hub, which is updating in real time.
These are all your messages and things.
It's messages, it's phone calls, it's calendar, it's email, it's social networking. It's literally everything that's happening in real time.
So this is sort of a stop to the original BlackBerry users who basically had this on their front home screens no matter what. They would always see this stuff pop up. My concern is that, yeah, that's great, but that functionality has already been replicated. A lot of the functionality in this device and a lot of the functionality in any keyboard-based phone has been replicated on every other phone out there. My mom is not going to buy this phone. She's going to buy an Android phone, or she's going to buy an iPhone if I let her.
Right.
I have that control.
Why wouldn't she buy this though? What's the reasoning behind that?
Because
what does this have that the other ones do?
Well, it has everything the other ones do.
Yeah.
So why do I need?
So now it's actually on an equal playing field, right?
It's not on an equal playing field. It's way back behind everybody else on the playing field.
I'm talking in terms of market share, but in terms of offerings, it's
in terms
even
of offerings.
at this point.
In terms of offerings, you have a bigger constellation of accessories for especially iPhones, partially for the Android.
Accessories,
you have a bigger
also
constellation of apps.
In terms of media,
apps, just general understanding and acceptance. You walk into the store, you're going to see this at a little kiosk somewhere, and then you're going to see 5,000 other Android phones and a bunch of iPhones. What are you going to go for? Are you going to go for the one phone that these guys make, or are you going to go for all those phones?
Well, I do want to talk a little bit about where BlackBerry went above and beyond, because I agree with you in terms of content ecosystem and just in terms of general ecosystem, in terms of accessories and stuff like that. Obviously, BlackBerry is behind. But with certain things like messaging, where BlackBerry's always taken a lead, they've actually translated the keyboard really awesomely over to touch. I think it's possible that they have the best messaging experience still on touch over the iPhone and over Android, based on this predictive flick up the word.
You type one letter and it knows. If you often type like "meet me for lunch," you could basically type M L and it'll eventually pop up.
You don't even need to do that. Essentially, if you type "meet me for lunch" a lot, you type M, it'll give you "meet" as an option. You flick up "meet," it knows you want to say "me" next. It offers "me." You don't have to type anything other than that first M. And it takes the context based on the words before and the words that might follow after to decide which words you might use. And it's it's pretty good.
Well, you also have swipe. Has that ever been a real issue? And I think the issue here is we're talking about thumb typers who have been doing this for so long that it doesn't really matter for them if they can have that.
But it does matter for people that are in the BlackBerry Fold and they're wanting to upgrade to all touch. BlackBerry's finally made a device that's worthy of that. And it'll make things a little bit easier for them when they're working on finding those keys and so on and so forth.
Well, if somebody asked me, what am I going to buy, what should I buy? I would say, you go for a Galaxy something.
You don't even know the galaxies, do you?
I know a number of the galaxies. A number of galaxies, the Horseshoe Nebula. Or you would go for an iPhone. I would say, I don't know, don't do this. That's what I would say. I'd given it a die.
Okay, I don't think that it's good enough to save BlackBerry as a company, but I don't.
I don't think this is going to save BlackBerry as a company. They're going to die anyway.
They're gonna die. BlackBerry gets a die
hell of a phone.
as a company. So I'm giving it a low fly. I'm giving BlackBerry as a company a straight up die.
So what's next for BlackBerry? They're done.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, BB10 will probably be licensed to someone else, and if they'll even take it, and then that'll be the story.
And I'm not even trolling here. I wanted this to be the turnaround event of the century. I wanted this to really work. And this is basically WebOS, but newer.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a die. You're giving it a low fly. The BlackBerry Z10 Uno Zero from BlackBerry, available now, I guess.
No,
Oh no,
it's
it's
not
available in May. It's available in May. There you are. You're never going to see this. Thanks for watching.